What's up, wolves, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have not made a YouTube video in a while, but like an actual YouTube video. I've reposted things from my TikToks and from my Instagram, but I have not yet really allowed myself to sit down or really found like the space, time, energy to sit down and make a video. So that's what we're gonna do today, and thank you so much for joining me. And if you find resonance with this, definitely subscribe, like, comment. I want to hear about your experiences, and I want to connect with you and, really just support each other in how we feel, what we're experiencing, what we're going through at this time of our lives, or even what we have gone through up until this point. So today I want to talk about, how my whole life I've been judged for being different. I've been judged by peers, family members, friends, strangers, my culture, society at large. And, me being different and being judged and held to this certain standard that is unrealistic for somebody who is different has really made me feel like something is wrong with me. And something being wrong with me and feeling like something is wrong with me is something that I know that so many of us resonate with, right? This feeling of lack, this feeling of something is missing, this feeling of even like alienation, being left out, feeling ostracized, feeling like you've been negated in some way from others, or like you just can't quite fit in, or you just don't really know where you belong, or you don't know how to belong in a world that you just don't simply belong to. Like it's that energy of like being in the world but not of it. Like we incarnated here as humans, but some of us, many of us, and if I'm speaking to you, let me know, but it's like many of us don't feel like we're genuinely from here, and it's because we're so different, right? It's because we don't live the same way that a lot of people live, or we don't like or enjoy or exist within the same embodiments and mindsets and surrounding energies that most people do. Me being judged for being different my whole life has really made me think that I am lacking something and that I'm missing something. And it's taken a lot of life force energy out of me. It's taken away a lot of my light, focusing on this energy of lack or something missing or something being wrong, and really my difference is what makes me different being wrong, because it's something that has been pointed out to me several times, especially in my relationships, right? Where it's like, I'll connect with someone, but then once I start really embracing me, being me, showing up more and more and more as me, it becomes an issue. Or, people are cool with me and everything's fine until I start to branch out, or I start to grow, or I start to think differently, feel differently. And that's when it's become this certain like, who do I think I am? Like, you don't fit in with us. Like, you're this like weird thing. I'm this thing that is like the problem. Growing up and being different in such a patriarchal society that tells us that everything is rigid and everything is, boxed up perfectly, and everything has to go this way or that way, and things are very traditional and controlled. When you have a soul and an energy like mine, a soul and an energy like ours, and you come into this world, right, you incarnate, we're meant to, at a very deep, big, large collective level, challenge that very system, right? Because we are different, because we offer unique perspectives, unique ideas, unique energies, unique states of being, unique feelings, unique frequencies, vibrations energetically, unique thoughts, unique looks, unique ways of living, existing, embodying. that is meant to, those very things that make us different are meant to challenge those that are inhibited or restricted by the patriarchal narrative, right? Of no, things are only supposed to be like this. No, you have to be perfect. No, you have to think like this. No, you need to get in line. No, life goes like this. It's like in this life, everything is really built upon control. We grow up, okay, well, you're automatically expected to go to college, get the degree, get married, get the career. You know, you're meant to follow this like straight and narrow line in a sense. And you're meant to just kind of follow and not lead yourself, not guide yourself, not find yourself. And so in a world where the differenters, like, right, like we're like the differenters, but like the people that are different, in the world where, you know, we're different, that is looked at and it's judged and it's put down because, well, you're black and you're supposed to be like this. Black people are supposed to be like this. They're supposed to act like this. Well, you're white and you're supposed to act like this. You're Chinese, you're Asian, you're Indian, you know, whatever color you are, whatever background you come from. Like, there are stereotypes and there are expectations culturally and even societally that expect you to come and show up and be and exist in a certain way. And when you don't show up or be or exist in that certain way, not only are you then ostracized and looked at a certain way by your culture and by society, but then even the people who get close to you, like your friends or even strangers that see you, they're kind of perplexed by you. They don't understand you. And that's another thing, being different. We're often misunderstood, and I've often been deeply misunderstood. And when I've felt and when I'm so deeply misunderstood, it can make me feel like I'm alone. It can make me feel like, why doesn't anybody understand me? It can make me feel like nobody's ever going to understand me, as I'm sure it can feel for you guys too. You know, the people who I'm speaking to, the energies, the souls that I'm speaking to that also feel different at just like a core soul level. And I think a lot of things that we can speak to, even, it's like people kind of treat us like we think we're better, or like there's something special about us, while at the same time negating that and taking it away, because they feel insecure, right? They feel insecure around such big energy when this world has taught and told us to be small, to remain linear, to get in line. When we show up as such different characters, embracing who we are and really just living out loud, that can disrupt and challenge so many of the, you know, rigid mindsets of the humans, of humanity at large, that are walking the earth. And that's why we incarnated here, right? To be those change makers, to be the catalysts of change, to be, in a sense, the drama, right? Because drama is what makes people move. Being challenged, being, you know, bothered, triggered, in a sense, is what gets people to move. And so that is really our purpose here, to serve as catalysts, change makers, to really dive into purpose and, you know, figure out where we can best put our energy. But it hasn't really been an easy feat for me, and I'm sure you even, because there's a lot of people who get triggered by people who are different, and it's meant to be this way, right? For our own growth, for me to embrace my uniqueness, for me to learn to fully, wholly, deeply love myself, but also for others to learn to do the same thing, to tap into themselves, to get in touch with themselves. And so there's a higher purpose for us being different, for me being different, but it doesn't mean that it's easy being different, because it puts kind of like this spotlight, this natural spotlight, right? This natural sense of attention on you, to where you just feel like you can't really do anything without people watching or staring or looking or judging or criticizing or having something to say in any way, because it's like the light that we have, the light that I have, the light that you have is just so potent and different, and the aura, it doesn't fit in with the constructs of your culture. It doesn't fit in with the constructs of society. It doesn't fit in with the constructs of your family. It doesn't fit in with the constructs of your peers, of strangers, of how the world is supposed to go. And that is really challenging to the ego. Even my own ego, when people, right, project and trigger me because they're judging me, because they're criticizing me, because they're scrutinizing and really kind of nitpicking or paying attention to me. You know, being different, I've had this belief that it's wrong for so long, and I feel like it's something that I'm finally coming to terms with and making peace with, and really understanding, right, that higher purpose that I was speaking of. But it's something that I haven't had the easiest time with in accepting, because it has caused me and brought me a lot of pain and even shame to be different and to exist differently. Because when you're different, again, you're othered, you're left out, you're ostracized. And it's not to be a victim, it's not to victimize myself, it's not to, get pity, but it is just to say the facts. Like, when you are different and you show up in that, it does cause a certain rift. It does cause it does cause waves, and even waves inside of me. And so there's a lot of shame that I'm unpacking right now, and that I'm releasing, and that I'm really kind of reorganizing surrounding what it means to be different, and surrounding my differences. Because I think differently, I feel differently than most people. I'm not very traditional. I'm very different than what my culture expects of me. My culture expects me, I feel like, to be more linear and rigid, and it expects me to be more like them, or more like this, or more like that. And that's what I've experienced, not just in my culture, but from people in general. A lot of people just expect me to be other than who I am. They expect me to live another way, and when I don't live like that, it's like I'm pointed at, I'm judged, I'm ostracized. Well, you're this, you're that, you're not this, you're not that, you think you're this, you think you're that, you're weird, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're crazy, you're mentally ill, you're just about anything in the book that you could really think of. Like, it will be thrown onto you when you're different. And that's because we really serve as that mirror for people's darkness. We serve as that light that darkness, it can't hide from when you're different. It can't hide, right? It can't hide. And so that shame has really built some walls within my connection to myself that I've had to, and I'm having to, break down and really deconstruct and question, like, wait a minute. Is being different bad? Is my uniqueness bad? Or is this a gift? Is this a treasure? Is this something that can be used to my advantage, to the advantage and for the advantage of the collective? Is there something positive that can come from all of the pain and all the shame and the accumulation of all the backstabbing, betrayals, and deceptions that I've experienced because of ultimately being different? And there is, right? But it's a process of alchemy. It's a process of realization. It's a process of going into the pain, process of going into the narratives that tell me you're weird, that tell me and make me feel like because I'm different, I am bad, something's missing, something's wrong with me, I am this thing that like doesn't deserve love, and because I'm emotional, I don't deserve love, and because I'm angry, then I don't deserve to be, held, and because I'm happy, I don't deserve to be happy because I should be sad. It's like there's so many rigid constructs in the society that will tell us not to be who we are, not to embrace our uniqueness, which is why so many people don't, and they're so upset and triggered because they're hiding, while people that are different are not hiding. They're coming out, they're embracing, they're doing the different thing. And so when you're different, you need to do the different thing. If you want to be different, you have to do the different thing. If you want to feel different, you have to do the different thing. And there's a lot of people in this world who aren't doing the different thing, saying the different thing, thinking the different thing, because of fear, because of doubt, because of insecurity, because of anxiety. And these are all normal things. But again, we have to work through them. And so I'm working through them. And I just wanted to share that because I feel like it's important that we know and that we establish and that we understand that, like, at a core level, and even if this doesn't fix or change everything for you, or, you know, absolve you of your trauma and your drama and whatever else you're working through, like, you are lovable even though you are different. Your uniqueness is needed in this world. Even if you haven't yet established or recognized your uniqueness or what makes you different for real, like, there is something in you that is unique. We are all unique. We are all different. And that doesn't mean that you're not lovable because you choose to live life a different way, or see things a different way, or you exist a different way, or you take a different way, or you feel a different way, or you don't like the same things, or you don't believe in the same things. Like, there is someone for everyone. And I think when we grow up feeling ostracized and left out and alienated and different and, like, othered in a sense, and, like, ultimately just feeling lonely even when we were around people that were cool and that we were friends with, it's like, there's a purpose in that. There's a purpose in that. There's meaning behind that. But we have to allow ourselves to really dig within, go deep, and see, where is this coming from? Why am I feeling this? What is the purpose of this? And really connect to source, to God. Because ultimately, we were created divinely. So there's no mistakes in my creation. There's no mistakes in your creation. But we don't just say, okay, there's no mistakes in my creation, I'm so great because I'm different. No, we have to go through the process that is a trauma and the drama to come back to self, to realize, holy crap, being different is okay. And then share it. This whole life is about evolution. It's all about growth. It's about maturing. It's about tapping into your divine potential. And so God made you who you are for a reason. He put that shit, he, she, they, whatever you believe, right? The universe put that in your mind for a reason. And so follow it and keep following it. Despite the trauma, despite the drama, despite the projections, despite the negativity, because there is a reason you are here. There is a reason that you are who you are. There is a reason for your uniqueness. And nothing that has happened has gone in vain. And so I appreciate you, Wolf, so much for tuning in and tapping into this video. Go ahead and give this video a like. Definitely subscribe and comment again if this message resonated with you, because I definitely want to speak to you guys. I want to connect to you guys. And I really just ultimately want to create that safe space for those that are different. You know, they didn't want us sitting at their table. They acted like we were too less than, and we were too weird, and we were too this and too that to sit at their table. Let's make our own table, right? Let's make our own table. And that might be the point too, right? To make our own table, to make our own standard, to define ourselves for ourselves.